This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
When the hot water needs to be hot, when the drain needs to drain, when the toilet needs to flush, you need to do two things. Stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. On call and there when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Johnny Knoxville said that he's not a fan of stunts involving cold weather or cold water. Can't blame him for that. And he also revealed one stunt that Steve-O will not do.
I'm not super fearful of it, but I don't like cold weather or cold water. I've done stuff in cold weather and cold water. It's just a hassle. But the guys do have irrational fears. Steve-O, who will let you put a hook in his mouth, chum up the ocean, and then cast him out to sea to catch a shark with his body. You can do that to him, fine. But we tried to get him to bungee jump once for an episode, and he was like, you did, I'm not doing it. I've seen him jump out of an airplane like 80 feet in the air into the water, or he jumps off bridges, does flips off bridges. It's like something that grandmas do.
I don't know what grandmas you're talking about. I don't see many.
How many grandmas bungee jump? All right. Wow.
Yeah, I'm with Steve-O. I won't bungee jump ever.
Yeah, no.
I don't even like those. Like, I love roller coasters. I love all amusement park stuff. The one thing I won't go anywhere near are the ones that are attached to a bungee cord.
Oh, that makes sense.
I wonder what that is. I always thought it was a height thing because I won't jump out of planes and I don't want to jump off bridges at all. But he does some of those.
Yeah. I don't know what it is for me. I think it's just that it's just not fully like secured, even though I know it is, but like all that give just makes me worried it's going to snap.
Well, and to BJ's point, it's like for me, I can't even imagine going skydiving because it's that free falling feeling for me. I wouldn't like any of that. So I don't even like Tom Petty because of that. It was like free falling. But no, seriously, it's like one of the. That's
why I don't play any bungee games because I don't like any of that.
Can I just ask? Did you just go there, Danny, with that incredible joke from the way back times?
You're welcome.
All right. Oh, that's really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Steve, I'm with you. But again, it's the fear of heights. Like the thing would break, and I would fall and die. Yeah,
I almost feel like skydiving. You have like that in your head. Like, okay, I'm just going, and then eventually something's going to open up and soften the fall. But whereas a bungee thing, I'm like, I'm just assuming this thing's not going to snap. Like, I don't know why, and I know.
Wow, yeah. My brain would think, well, the chute will break too. Like I got both of those things.
Well, that's the reason I won't skydive either. Yeah, but if you put a gun to my head and said, okay, you have to do one of them, I would skydive over bungee jump.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I think I would bungee jump if you put a gun to my head.
I think same bungee jumping.
But then you get that snap back.
Yeah.
Who knows if you're going to snap so far back, you're going to bang your head on the bridge that you're connected. I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know how any of this crap works.
Some people think if I bang my head on the bridge, it might be a good thing. So, you know what? I think bungee jumping is the winner for me.
It would be interesting to find out what, like, all of the jackass people, like, are scared of. Because, like, there's that one movie where they, like, throw Bam in, like, a snake pit and he freaks out because he's just super scared of snakes. But they're willing to do so much stuff that it's like, how are you scared of this?
Well, also you said, like, I don't like doing stuff in cold weather or cold water.
I know, so weird.
Like, that's such an odd thing. Like, you would think like the polar plunge would be an easy thing for him.
Yeah.
But like he'll drink out of a horse's, what skis.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, humans are different, man. It's just, there are people that have no problem getting up in front of crowds and are terrified of talking to people one-on-one, just going up to one random person, which I may or may not be talking about myself. And then it's the other way around. There are people that are terrified of crowds but have no problem going up to strangers and saying hello.
Somebody said I've skydived and bungee jumped, and the bungee jump way scarier. And then they said the reason why, the ground comes at you a lot quicker.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because at least when you're going straight down, eventually, hopefully, that parachute opens up, and then you have that warm embrace of whoever you're doing the tandem with, so you get to kind of you feel comfortable.
Is that a warm embrace because maybe somebody soiled themselves?
Could be.
That would be me. But still, you've got to land. And I've heard of people breaking their legs landing when they're skydiving. So that's the other thing. You see me, I can't even get off a ski lift. So I feel like I better bungee jump.
Someone said I won't bungee jump because I'm afraid the rope's going to wrap around my neck and hang me.
Whoa!
Well, now you've added a new fear for me to have about bungee
that's a
jumping.
Final Destination situation right there. Damn.
Someone also said the thing about bungee jumping, the length of the cord. How did they know that they found the right length? I'd hate to be the first guy to figure out that was wrong. What if you're a little bit heavier than the person before you? Well, you based it off of a 200-pound man. I'm 220 pounds.
Yeah, this we have a lot of fears, don't we? We figure that if people are doing this, they should have it figured out, but we're like, well, they may not have it figured out.
So you said you'd stay away from the amusement parks with the different kind of bungees. Are you talking about the one with the ball?
Yeah, you're in a ball and then just they let you go and just snap.
The slingshot ones.
Yeah, F that.
Yeah, and you just spin around. I don't know if I could do that one either.
I don't like those whatsoever, and people love them. And I'm sure they're just as safe or just as dangerous, depending on how you look at these things, as a regular roller coaster. But I'd do a crazy drop of a roller coaster in a heartbeat over one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip all of those. Thank you.
yes, please.
I think I'm done with all those.
Someone said, bungee jumping scarier than skydiving because skydiving you have a lot longer to get used to that falling sensation.
And then you're doing it a bunch of times when you're bungee jumping. You're going down, but then you're going back up, and you're going back down, and you're going back up. Yeah. Do they pull you back up, or do you just dangle there until they let you go?
Until you die.
I think, you pass out, and then they just snap it open.
I don't know how it works at all.
Yeah, you have to fend for yourself. Hopefully there's food that they put down.
I think they have a thing there's a rope that they pull you back up on.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, they better have something. Well, now it's time for you to climb back up.
Or they just drop you in the river.
A guy with a rocket strap comes flying by and unhooks you and just carries you to safety.
Oh, that's not scary either. Okay.
So it said skydiving over bungee jumping. People have survived when their parachutes haven't opened. Can't say the same with bungee jumping.
Oh, people have survived when their parachutes haven't opened? How is that possible? The parachute doesn't open. You literally drop like a brick. People have survived that?
Well, I imagine
how often?
Yeah. We're not saying it's a high percentage.
It's probably a 5% chance.
And what is their life like after they survive? I mean, if you're still alive, you must have done some damage that's probably not easy to come back from.
You're probably more thankful.
Well, I imagine you're probably not by yourself, so maybe somebody else can maneuver over and grab you.
You landed on the tandem person?
Or a tree.
They broke your fall.
Or trees.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, then you fall through and get impaled by the trees. Okay.
I've seen a lot of movies where they land in a haystack.
Yeah, that totally works.
Or a garbage truck is driving by and you land in all the garbage.
Oh, yeah, or the truck of mattresses, too, conveniently placed as you're going along.
Apparently,
in that documentary, The Matrix.
In California, actually, this happened to him last year, where he did a 15,000-foot fall, and he just smashed through a roof of a house, and he sustained minor injuries.
Oh, wow.
Through the roof?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it's going to break your fall.
Yeah, the insulation and roofing material.
Landed on a bed, just fall asleep.
I've seen those movies.
Wow. That's insane. Okay, well, that person somehow fell the right way into the right place.
So I said I've done 3 bungee jumps so far. The scariest was jumping backwards off of a bridge, 180 feet in the air.
Whoa. Okay, I'm not doing any of it.
And I did find out how they bring you back for the bungee jump. There's 2 different ways, and it makes sense. Some will lower you down to the ground gently after the jump, or others will pull you back up. So some of them you may have to just be sitting there dangling while they pull you back up.
Okay.
Upside down.
Yeah.
And I don't know about the wear and tear on the body. I don't know if I can sit there and have a massive sproing, as it were. And I don't know how that could be for these bones. I'm not sure. Is it a young man's game? I think it might be.
Yeah, I don't know how massive the jerk is on your body.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, I don't.
It doesn't look very comfortable.
No, it doesn't actually at all.
No, I think I'm. Can I say no to everything? I think I'm going to say no.
In this situation, I think we're all okay with that. Yeah, we want to see you tomorrow.
Exactly. I'm not going to do that at all. Well, there's a new survey out that asks people to name the most annoying things that happen at the office. What do you think topped the list? I'm going to tell you at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
A burst pipe at 3 a.m. is a bad way to start the day. A cold shower in November isn't invigorating. So before you start freaking, call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical is just one call away 24 hours a day. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. So they did a survey and they said, hey, folks, here at the office, what are the most annoying things that happen while you're at the office?
You have to work.
Yeah, there's that. Well, you know, a lot of people are going back. I don't know how many people are going back because in our joint, we still haven't had full complement return. But, other people, I guess, after, 2 years pretty much of being able to not have to be around annoying people at the office. Now, all of a sudden, there they are again.
But that probably heightens it, too, because you've been so accustomed to not having to deal with Chuck and Sales. And all of a sudden, now you're at the urinal with Chuck and Sales again.
I know, you're right. That Chuck, first of all, the whole urinal with Chuck and Sales needs to stop. It just, he needs to understand how
because he asks you a question and he peers over like as if he's checking things out while you answer the question.
Yeah, you're absolutely, it's like, is this just a smoke screen, Chuck? You're asking me a question so some gazing can happen? Well, good luck to you. Nothing to see here, pal.
Yeah, on to you, Chuck.
So here's what people said are the most annoying things that happen at the office. And it's funny, but Chuck and Sales is number one. Number one is coworkers talking too loudly while you're trying to work. That would be me. I would be that annoying person in the office.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Especially in this office. I feel like it's a little bit different in our station. It's a floor full of loud talkers.
Well, and especially because the way that it's kind of set up, they have meetings right right outside of our studios. So when we walk outside and we're just having normal conversation, it's like shh,
and that open floor plan, man.
That's why I look at them and I go shh. Back. I'm like, I'm trying to steal your bagels.
Yeah,
you guys keep it down, please.
Yeah, come on now. I got a mission here. Yeah. And I like the more my hearing goes away, the louder I talk, and I basically sound like David Lynch on Twin Peaks, where I'm just screaming all the time and I have no idea. So I'm probably that coworker.
All connection. Twin Peaks, huh? Happy National Twin Peaks Day.
There we go. Yeah, see, I like that.
Danny, do you know the show Twin Peaks?
No.
Oh, Danny, you're missing it, man. Well, they did have a revival a couple years ago, at least, Steve, on Showtime. So they did bring it back.
I know of it and some of the memes and stuff. I've never seen it, though. Nor do I really care to see it.
What?
I feel like I'm too late to the party.
It's a weird show, just like you. It's perfect.
When did it even come out?
Well, the first one came out in the 90s. I'm pretty sure. Early 90s, if I'm not mistaken, is when the TV show came out.
Damn, exactly 90. And then 2017 was the revival.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the revival I really dug. But again, you had to be an original fan in the first place to want to watch that Showtime. But he's a character who is like, he's trying to do these covert conversations with the police because he's like a police chief or something. But he's so deaf. And he has a little box that he wears on so he can adjust how he can hear things. He yells every time. And so he's like, we're going to get that guy over there. He thinks he's fooling him. And the guy's right there in the chair as he's having this really loud conversation with McLaughlin. So that's the one guy I think of and go, God, I hope I never become that guy. And I am that guy. I am just like way louder than the room needs me to be. So I'm that loud coworker. How about people who cough or sneeze without covering their mouth? How is that not number one with what we're going through here with COVID?
Yeah.
That should be number one.
I don't think I know anyone at the station that does that.
Yeah, I cough in my shirt, and people think I'm weird, but I feel like that way it gets nowhere but on me.
Yeah.
Like,
I was the one who thought it was weird, but I was schooled rather quickly by a lot of texters and you all. And I was just like, oh, okay. I never thought of it that way. That makes sense.
And I've been doing that a long time, long before COVID, because I just figured like, because I just know about how particles are dispersed. And it's like, if I cough anywhere, it's going to go everywhere, except what if I contain it right here in what now is my big shirt mask?
I just open up the refrigerator and just cough and sneeze in there. Because I hear the cold air kills all the germs, right?
That's a good point. Yeah. That's why I always put some bleach in that refrigerator there too, Steve. So it's double duty killing that thing.
BJ and Migs, not doctors.
No.
Are you sure?
I read it on YouTube that's the way to do it, Rev. I don't know what you're talking about.
We're as qualified as anybody, Rev.
I found a nurse on YouTube that shared this theory.
Are you sure she's a nurse?
In osmosis, Steve now is a nurse.
It says nurse in her name.
Yeah. Well, Nurse Jackie's a nurse, right? I learned a lot from her.
I have a question. Where is a empty vending machine that doesn't take credit cards on this list?
Is it still not working? Really?
Let's just be happy we have a microwave that works.
Finally.
That's next on the list. We'll get that done in like 6 months.
Was that 2 years that microwave was down and then finally it was back?
There was a moment where it worked for like 3 or 4 days and then I'd say it's about a year and a half.
Yeah. Okay. It's been a while.
But it's been working pretty well.
Yeah.
Although I've gotten so accustomed to not using it that I've yet to use the microwave.
Oh, next time I can't wait. I am going to use that. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to throw everything there and just use it.
I should.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I've yet to bring in anything. Like everything that I bring in is stuff that I could eat just cold.
Yep.
Because we had no microwave for a long. Or we had one
look at that.
It was all at the other end of the hall, and time is of the essence when you're on a break and you have to eat. So it's like, I might as well just eat this cold. So now I'm just used to that.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at you. See, you made the adjustment. It's like you're like a caveman times.
Yeah, man, that's my life right there. It's making adjustments.
Number 3 on this list of things that are annoying that happen at the office, I feel like used to is a complete reversal, and I'm so happy about this. And that is coworkers who come into work even though they're sick. I've never wanted to come into work sick, and I'm now happy that nobody wants me to. I love this.
Yeah, the COVID stuff has definitely made it so that if anyone even says it, nobody bats an eye. Like, just stay home until you're done sniffling.
Mm-hmm. You remember I used to have to really make it sound like I was massively sick.
You never had to make it sound. I decided to make it sound. If you would have just said, hey, I'm sick, I'm not coming in, we're like, okay.
Steve.
I'm like,
I'm telling you, buddy.
I always love the
you
day.
You don't want this, Steve. Whatever I got, you don't want it, Steve.
I always love the day before. You're like, oh, I think I'm coming down with something.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh, yeah.
You got to preamble it.
And then we would place our bets. Like, what do you, I'm like, Joe, you might want to have a best of ready. Even though, and they're like, why? I'm like, well, Dad was just hinting at not feeling good.
Yeah.
So there's a very good chance you won't be coming in tomorrow.
I don't know. I think I was around somebody that's got something. Now I don't have to. And some of my best Oscar-worthy work has been done there, so I feel like I'm really, that's unfortunate.
So you said, what the hell, guys? 1 week without a microwave, and I'd be buying one myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought about
it. Not to.
Yeah. I almost brought in my spare.
Like, you guys can't bring in a microwave. Okay, well, when is ours going to get fixed? We don't know.
Yeah.
Just goes to show you, though, when it came to coffee, we did bring our own coffee pots in. Because when we didn't like how the coffee was coming out, we didn't wait that long like we did with the microwave.
Hey, they never told us not to, so.
It's true.
Yeah. How about slow computers? That's a fun thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Does any company ever really update their computers as much as they should? I feel like it's not just us. Every damn company's like, oh, these things are meant to go for 10, 15 years, right? And it's like, really? Do you know any tech? I mean, think of your phone. How long do you get to before your phone is just a brick, and yet we're working with these bigger bricks?
Yeah, but I got to feel for like the IT people, because then you'll be like, my computer's not working, it's working so slow. And then he'll come over, he's like, well, you've got like 40,000 things saved on here, so maybe you should clean some stuff out. I'm like, well, it's the work computer. It should have everything. It's like, we don't have like an unlimited resource of space. So, and so it's like,
I don't know. Who's that an impression of?
Me.
By the way?
It
feels like a cartoon character. It's like, hey,
yo, Raggy. Bro, my computer's not working.
I'm our Scooby
Snack. These pesky meddling kids have messed up my computer.
Well, then we go from slow computers to IT issues, which again, we're involved with the same people again, where they're going to go,
I wonder how many times the IT guys are just like, wow, I just work with idiots. I can't imagine it's just us.
Oh, it's like that old show, the IT crowd. Just, they look at you with such disdain, like those characters on that show.
Have you turned it off and on again?
Oh, well, and that's usually what it is for me, is a lot of times I'm like, my computer's broken. And they're like, turn on the monitor. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I've had that happen.
Have you restarted your computer? Yeah. When? 2018. Well, I'm supposed to do it every day?
It's so embarrassing when you look like an idiot. And it happened to me yesterday. I was out hiking, and then I wanted to use one of the bathrooms out at this park I'm at, and I pulled the handle, and the handle was locked. Like, it wouldn't go down like it's supposed. It's kind of like the handle on our men's room bathroom door, which is not like on any other door in the building.
It's the greatest handle ever.
Every other handle, you pull it down to open something. The men's bathroom door doesn't work that way at our station, and also not at these parks bathrooms. So this old lady comes by, and dude, I mean, I know I'm old, but she's just wandering up, and she goes, "Oh, what are they both occupied?" And I go, "No, I think they're closed for the season." She goes, "No, they're not. I go here every day. They're not closed for the season." I go, "Well, they're both locked." And she goes, "Did you pull hard enough?" And I'm like looking at this frail lady, and I was like, "You know what, lady?
Pull this."
Then she goes over, pulls the door open, and I'm like, I went over to the men's room, pulled it over. I'm like, oh, and I'm like Larry David, but it's the handle. It's like the handle doesn't go down. What? And she goes, "Yeah, whatever, genius." And she just walks in, and I'm like, oh, you feel like an idiot when stuff doesn't work, and it's your fault. And it's just so easy for everybody else to see.
But on the flip side, my favorite thing would be here at work back in the day when we had guests that could come in studio, or like different management people for like a record label would be here, and you'd be like walking by and you just see somebody standing at the bathroom door. And our bathrooms, there's like 3 stalls, there's 2 urinals, there's plenty of room for people to go. Like, it's rare that you're like, oh, crapper's full. There's always a spot. And so I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, why is he just standing outside the bathroom? And I'm like, is everything all right? And the guy's like, yeah, door's locked. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I just tried to push the door down and it's locked. I'm like, oh, okay, well, hopefully someone will come out soon. I was like, I didn't have the heart to tell him, like, you just push the door and it opens. So it's just no problem.
Like, stupid handle.
And then I come back and I was like, did some stuff. Like 4 minutes later, he's still standing there. I'm like, still.
Oh, you're a horrible person.
I didn't know the guy. I was like, I didn't
know the guy. So
I guess I could have said something.
Let him learn on his just own. Leaking, and you go, "Oh, wow, you had an accident, huh, sir?"
At some point, someone else is going to walk. I wish I would have stuck around just for the moment where someone would walk by and just push the door, and that moment of realization that he's just like, "The hell have I been doing outside of this bathroom this whole time?"
But I want to know, why do we have a handle like that? Did they run out of handles and decided they didn't want to get the right one? Like, of all the design things they do in our building, why is that the only door that doesn't? And it doesn't work like a door works.
I'm not sure.
It's completely counterintuitive.
Yeah, I don't know. Having a handle at our radio station bathroom door is completely pointless.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It should be a push thing that you have, like one of those little, rectangular vertical push little things you put. But this is dumb, and I
think we touched on what our annoyance is at work.
It's the bathroom door handle. Wow, we really are lucky if that's the biggest problem we have.
Yeah. Well, don't get me started with design, because because that's the one thing where I go, wow, you hired a fancy designer and you can't even get a handle that works. Congratulations, everybody, whoever was in charge of all this. And that's usually when they ask me to leave the meeting. And they're like, okay, maybe you should just leave.
Maybe like some fancy designer, that was their thing. Like, we're going to have these useless door handles. That's the new thing, man.
You're absolutely right. You know what? It could very well be like, you're so out of touch with modern day fashion.
You haven't seen our latest thing? It's a refrigerator that doesn't work. You just put stuff in there. You still have to get a refrigerator. This just holds all of like your pantry stuff.
How do you like our retro vending machine that looks like it takes electronics but doesn't?
It doesn't have any food in it.
You have a microwave that doesn't work. Yeah, we're ahead of the curve, BJ.
We really are, man.
Toilets that don't flush.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Okay, now we've gone too far.
Yeah, we are. Well, smelly bathrooms is actually on the list too. And
see, I miss our old offices because we could go to a different floor and use the
Yes.
There was literally a time.
I would crush the 15th floor all the time.
100%. If I was going to blow it up, it was going downstairs. Sorry, everyone that worked at the end.
And that's fine, but because you walk in there, you have a different option. We don't have a different option here.
No.
You walk in, it smells. You're like, well, I guess I have to sit in it.
Mm-hmm. But it's kind of fun because then it's the game of who is it. Because there's only so many people here at the building nowadays. So whenever someone's like just ripping ass in there, I'm like, well, who could it be? And I always assume it's Joe.
Well, it's not me. No, I like that.
How do you not assume it's Rev? I mean, really, Joe? Out of the likely suspects?
To be fair, there's two Joes that work here, so you could be right. There's a better chance of you being right.
Oh, I never thought about the other Joe. He doesn't look like he poops.
Yeah, I don't think he does at all.
Look like he poops.
Here at work.
I would love to know. I know what Joe looks like, the other Joe, and like, wow, I didn't know you had a non-poop look to you. I'm going to really have to see if
I'm not sure exactly how to describe it, but he just doesn't have that kind of like...
He's too pretty to poop.
I don't know about that. He's not unattractive. Now you put me in a weird spot.
Yeah, really have. You know what?
He's a rather handsome man.
Yeah.
But I just don't see him as a guy that's just like tearing it up in the bedroom.
It's like girls don't poop, so that's why I think anybody who's pretty don't poop.
Yeah.
Where else will you tear it up if you can't tear it up in a bathroom, though?
Home.
Oh,
I feel like he's the kind of guy that waits till he gets home and then he just rips it.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Yeah. That's all right. Well, there you go. That's the look. I need to start dressing like him so people will know that I also am that kind of guy.
You should ask him next time. It's like, do you ever tear it up here at work?
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Don't
question.
make it. I mean, it's not uncomfortable at all.
Not having that
I'm sure that won't get you brought into any offices.
Maintain eye contact as you do it.
What's your bowel movements like at work, bro?
Bro. Yeah, added bros and stuff like that, too.
That'll work. That won't raise any red flags to anybody.
I just can't wait for the texters to text the other morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're talking about you and whether or not you poop at work.
Yeah.
Is it, do you or don't you?
Yeah, and they're more of a lot more family-friendly show than us. So
families don't poop?
You know what? There was a book. Everybody poops.
Everyone.
Yeah, so
Sometimes.
I mean, really, but when this gets back to him, that'll be wonderful. Okay. Well, his name, by the way, was Steve Miggs. He started the conversation.
No, his name's Joe.
Oh, okay. Well, yesterday, Joe or Steve or whoever got this one wrong.
President Snow was a main antagonist in which book series?
Frosty the Snowman?
No.
Harry Potter?
No.
Jack Reacher?
No.
That was Joe. He just ran by the studio.
Damn, just drive by on that one.
That was wow, Joe. This is unbelievable. And you don't look the kind of guy that would poop, but okay, there you go. Well, the correct answer we were looking for the question is the Hunger Games. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs. We'll do that at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I figure out who my creditors are?
People a lot of times have had a long time of not having good credit and having collections, and so they're concerned that you may be concerned that you won't be able to find all your creditors if you file bankruptcy. How will I know which collection agency has my credit card bill from 10 years ago now? And that's something that's hard to keep track of because credit collection agencies transfer your debts all over the place. But we will pull all your credit bureaus, and by getting all three of your credit bureaus, we'll be able to tell who has your credit and debt now, which collection agencies have had it in the past, and we'll make sure that we file all your creditors when we file your bankruptcy so that nothing slips through the cracks.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.